And that's why we don't have champions here.
Is that how you ended up with Steve Molitor?
People can think what they want to think. You know, I've trained hard. I know what I have to do in there tomorrow night. I'm very confident. Me and Adrian have a good game plan to go into tomorrow night. You know, I've just trained too hard. I made a lot of sacrifices in my life, and you know, if I can't beat Scotty Olsen at his stage right now, then I'll never make it even close to where I want to be as like a world champion.
Steve, I'll tell you that story.
Steve, he was brought to you, right?
Huh?
He was brought to you, right?
No, he didn't. Steve wasn't brought to me. He came to me. The difference. He left where he was because he didn't believe that he could be taken to the world champion for that person. But he come to me and he said, you know what? I believe you can take me to the world championship. I said,
how did he know to find you? Like, where did, at this point, where were you?
Okay, I was here back in Canada. I had just come home from America. And I went to his gym because Adrian, to the rescue, wanted me to come and help him with his camp. He wanted me to be a trainer there, but he wanted me to work under his son. He wanted me to work under his son. I'm a 5-time national champion, Commonwealth champion, Olympic champion, and I'm going to come work under your son, and I believe that I'm a world-class trainer, and you want me to work under your son? To me, that was disrespectful. So I said no. And as I said no, Steve Molitor said to me, called me about 3 weeks later, and he goes to me that he believes that I can make him champion. I said, come, I'll make you a champion. I said, come, I will make you a champion. And I trained with him, and I didn't know this. I trained with Steve Molitor for 2 years. 2 years, no fights. Nothing. No fights, no nothing. We trained for 2 years. That means no fights. That means I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid by him. I trained him for 2 years. And guess what? After the 2 years, I find out that he has a manager. And not only does he have a manager, but his first fight is in the States. And at that point, I was not allowed to go to the States because I had gotten into some trouble with a credit card fraud. So boom, I wasted 2 years of training this kid. I'm not going to get paid for it because I'm not going to be at the fight.
Did he just forget to tell you, or was this?
Yeah, never forget to tell me. It's just, that's just the way it was. Never forget. I don't want to say nothing bad about Steve. Steve's a great kid. But then...
Did you keep working with him after that?
I had to. I couldn't just throw away 2 years.
Right.
And
so who cornered for him in the States?
Here's the thing. So he's supposed to go to the States, and my papers are messed up, right? So he leaves. The fight gets canceled, but the fight gets canceled, right? So he doesn't go to the States. But what happens is his manager calls me and he says, what can I do to fix your papers? So I told him, you got to do this. So he said he couldn't do it. So he left, got another trainer. His name was Dwight Frazier. He worked with Dwight Frazier.
Joshua Frazier's?
Yes. He worked with Dwight Frazier for about 6 months, right? And then Steve come back to me and he said, Chris, I want you to train me. I said, you know what you guys have to do? I can't travel to the States. So his manager called me again and he goes to me, okay, I'm gonna fix your papers. So he drives over to Atlanta, Georgia, comes back. Two days later, your papers are fixed. And he paid, I don't know, I think $5,000 to $10,000 to get my papers fixed.
But Steve needed you in this corner.
Yeah, but Steve needed me in the corner. So our first fight, we go. Our first fight together, we go, he gets dropped. Boom. First round. I trained this guy for 2 years. Huh?
Who was he fighting?
forget the guy's name. Some Argentinian gets dropped, and after he get dropped, he didn't listen to a word I said. Not one word I said meant anything to him. Not one word I said meant anything to him. So after the fight, he won the fight. He won the fight unanimous decision. After the fight, he come and he give me his money, and I said, I don't want it. He said, why don't you want it? I didn't come here to just take money from you. I came here to teach you. You didn't listen to a word I said. He said to me, I remember this. He went on his knees and he said, Chris, please take it. I promise you from this day on, I'll listen to every word you said. From that day on, not a word that I said he didn't listen to.
Let's start with Steve Molitor and introduce him. The Canadian kid grew up in this province of Ontario. He's a hero here. He arrived at the arena earlier tonight. He didn't need a GPS to find his way because since winning the IBF title, all 5 of his defenses have been here at Casino Rama. Molitor had a modest amateur career, turned pro 8.5 years ago, won the Canadian and British Commonwealth titles, then the big one. Went to England, knocked out Michael Hunter, and won the vacant IBF title 2 years ago. He's a southpaw-focused, technically sound, beautifully conditioned, sharp puncher, complete boxer, a champion without an apparent weakness. He's coming off a late TKO win in his last title defense in August. Is now 28-0, 11 KOs.
He listened to every word I said from that fight and won everything. We won the win, and we fought in England, knocked out Michael Hunter in the round that he said he was going to knock him out in. I called the punch. When I called the punch, overhand left. The second I called it, boom, landed. So every word I was saying to this kid, he listened to. We had four title defenses, 2 number 1 title defenses and two voluntary defenses. The next thing now, he's fighting for the unification against, I forget what the kid's name is, from Panama.
Now I'll look at the other champion you'll see in the ring, Celestino Caballero, WBA title holder. He had only 16 amateur fights, turned pro 10 years ago, and blew through his first 17 opponents. Then in 2003, he was knocked out cold by a single shot. Caballero dropped a decision the next year, but has since won 11 straight, including the WBA title when he went to Thailand and knocked out the champion 2 years ago.
Caballero. So he's fighting Caballero. And he calls me at 12 midnight. He's going for a run. He just finished his run. And he said to me, Chris, you know why I'm going to beat Caballero? I said, why? He says, because I got you and he doesn't. That's what he said to me. He felt so comfortable. We just intertwined. We were clicking on all cylinders.
It's that father relationship.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mentor, everything. Like Arnie was to me, I was their mentor. And then next thing you know, I wasn't there at the fight. I wasn't there with him at the fight. You know why? There was a scrutiny about money.
If Chris would have stuck to just being a trainer instead of trying to be manager and, you know, tell me what my promoter should be, you know, things would be fine. If you could use one word, I'd have to say greed. So, you know, that's the word to describe the breakup for our relationship.
Remember, I was with this guy for 2 years training this guy, and I never got paid. So they wouldn't pay me still. So I said, listen, I proved myself. Boom, I want to get paid. Prove myself. So they said, oh, Chris loves the limelight. Chris does this. Don't worry about Chris. So I said, I'm gone. I left. He went.
Is that when he ends up with Stefan?
Yep. He went, got knocked out.
Right.
Boom. Never the same. And our relationship was never the same. We got back together, but our relationship was strained.
It had changed.
Yeah, it was changed. And, you know, we got back together. We bonded, boom, won the world title, boom, yeah.
Was he, in your mind, the most talented fighter you had trained up until that point?
Hell no.
No, right?
Hell no. You know what that he had? Work ethic. Work ethic. He worked tirelessly. He just had no quit in him. Just boom, boom, boom. He's gonna work till the cow comes home. That's just how he was. Talent-wise, oh, the 2 years I took to build him, I felt that skill-wise, he was horrible. Horrible skill-wise. I tell him that. But his desire to win was special.
Yeah. And I don't care you
Yeah. His desire to win was special. Like, just skill-wise, though, I took 2 years and changed him to where he looked attractive. And there's a reason why those 2 years took place, because he had to be switched in order to be a champion type of caliber.
Do you have a relationship with Stefan LaRouche?
Relationship? Yeah, we cool. I mean, we cool. I respect him. We say hi and all that stuff. No animosity between me and him. No, he's a great man. No.
He's a good coach. How did you forgive Steve after he left and came back? Like, what changed for you? Where you're like, oh, I can take you back now.
You got to realize something. I didn't forgive, but I didn't need to forgive. What happened was the opportunity. Remember now, there's not too many world champions in Ontario. He's the only one champion ever, world champion ever in Ontario. So what would it mean for me? Think about this. Well, what does that mean? If he's the only one world champion in Ontario, what does it mean for me? I'm the only one trainer in Ontario with a champion. So if I get a second time, he will be the only 2-time champion in Ontario. So what does that mean for me? Thank you. Right. So that was what fused me for that. Not the fact that he's a great guy. He was great. I wanted to do something great too. You understand what I'm saying? And that's my whole plight. You ask him. I want to be in the Hall of Fame, International Hall of Fame. I'm being inducted into the Canadian Hall of Fame. I'm so excited. Yes, but fuck, do I ever want that International Hall of Fame?